Just a warning, HHE is rated R or 18 in the UK. Swearing and things like that will be in these episodes. Please do not listen around children. And let's get to the show. You have been warned. Welcome to HHE, that is Halloween Horror Events Podcast. We are a podcast about horror events in the UK and Orlando, Florida.
Yep, so you can also follow us on all our socials at HHE Pod, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere you can find us.
And subscribe to us on all good podcast apps and make sure you give us a 5-star review. Cheers.
He forgot YouTube, guys. Get us on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, and that as well.
Welcome, everybody, to the rebrand. Not this shit. If you're watching it on YouTube, that is coming off in a second. Epic Haunts is officially dead now. And welcome to the new rebranded HHE podcast, what stands for Halloween Horror Events. Makes more bloody sense. And I think I've got a bit bored of just me and Simon talking Homer Simpson, Grandpa Simpson shit. So we've brought a proper southerner in now who knows what he's talking about. So before we even get to Simon, welcome Joe.
Hello, boys.
So let's explain to everyone. Joe is full-time on the team and now he's not a guest. He is one of us, the poor bastard. So Simon,
One of us.
Simon, how you feeling, mate, with the rebrand?
Yeah, I'm just glad it's finally cat's out of the bag. Because it has been quite difficult. There's been a few people wondering, and this is the reason why.
Craig, there you go, mate. Quiet. Joe's finally on a podcast. We've got him in. He's wanted to do one. He's in one.
Yeah, it's been difficult to keep it quiet because there's been a lot behind the scenes. We've been making sure we've got all the all the logos and everything set up. So when you see this and hear it, you'll get everything all at once. So
right. So we're all having a drink, beer.
Yeah, I think so. I wasn't supposed to be because I had a bit too much last night.
I'm having a soul. This isn't my choice, but I get them free from work, so.
Nice.
Cheers, boys.
I'm just a cheap and nasty Aldi, so Casper's looking after me.
So ain't that great, mate. So what we're going to do on this episode, we're going to introduce you properly to Joe. We're going to talk into his history of horror events and what genre of movies he likes in horror and all that, and what brought him into it. Then we're getting to the big news, what obviously dropped from Halloween Horror Nights. That's simple. So, Simon, I thought I'd let you take the lead here. You can ask Joe anything you want.
Well, first things first, Joe. I will welcome you to the podcast because I haven't officially done it yet.
It's good to be here.
You're one of the team. So, what is your history with Halloween Horror Nights? Should we say haunts events in general?
For a few seconds, I thought you was going to say what was his web browser history, and I was saying, no, we don't bring that up on this show.
Yeah, you don't want to know.
What's that? 30 seconds?
Hey, mate, I said we rebranded. I didn't say we came boring PG.
Never said anything about that, but you lowered the tone in 30 seconds in the first interview we've done. Come on.
Keep it going the way I always do.
Go ahead, Joe.
All right, well, history with Horror Nights. I'm a bit of a newbie, really, when it comes to Horror Nights. The first time I went was HHN32.
Very early. Oh, nipples.
Man boob.
Yeah, first house we ever did was Ghostbusters.
Not a bad house to go through for your first one.
No, mate, it's still my favourite. I know it wasn't scary, but it's Ghostbusters, isn't it? You know, it took me back to my childhood.
Didn't like this one then. Stranger Things for people who actually, I might say, probably don't watch this one on YouTube, because I pulled a t-shirt off and it pulled the other t-shirt up, and I've got man boobs. You don't want to see that.
Free nipples.
A Total Recall. I'll say that every day. Oh, that'd be a good house. Total Recall. And if we get the free boobies.
Yeah.
No, you're just going to go. You're just going to go with a hand like that. I'm trying to. Control. So HHN32, first one. Went to 31 as well.
Yes. Yeah, we did. Yeah. Obviously, we met up with you.
So you've only had 2 to compare. Which one do you think is better for yourself? 29
by a mile. Mainly for the crowds, really. Last year was just so busy.
Yeah.
I mean, when that night we met up and we were sat by, what was the scare zone we sat by? It was the sweets one.
Yeah, where the tribute store was.
Sweets Revenge.
Yeah, and I just remember all 3 of us looking at the crowds, thinking, like, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it was. I don't know whether that's post-cap with levels, or it was just everyone wanted to get back because of the international thing. But it did seem a lot busier last year, so potentially this year we'll see. Hopefully it simmer down a little bit. Yeah. So outside of Halloween Horror Nights, what have you done? Any other events? I know you've done one in the UK from our recommendation.
Yeah.
So is that the only one you've done, Tully's?
No. I did Fort Amherst a few years ago. I don't know if you boys have heard of that one.
No, tell me.
It's in Chatham, right? And it's proper good. Like, they can touch you and stuff like that. Or they used to be able to. I don't know if they still can. But I actually got bitten on the top of the head by a zombie. It was unreal. Yeah, serious. It was fucking crazy. It's wild. It's in Chatham. Love this. It's at like an old historic fort. Check it out. I'll send you a link.
What's it called again?
Fort Amherst.
Yeah, I'll put that in the show notes as well.
Yeah, sweet. I'll send you through a link. We did that. That was really good. It's a bit short. I mean, it's probably an hour and a half, 2 hours tops. But it's good.
But when you're saying you're getting touched, was Jimmy Savile there?
Yeah.
Gary Glitter.
that's why I went.
That's a very English one. The Americans won't get that. Otherwise, was it sponsored by the BBC? Simon's like, what have I let myself into?
It was all right when Gaz was on here, because at least they had 2 Northerners, not 2 Southerners.
Don't you mind the Southerners?
So that's is that just them 2 then? Done it?
I've done Fort Park as well. We bought tickets. We went in. Everything was a 3-hour queue, so we left.
Oh, nightmare! Have you ever done Alton Towers then?
That sounds exactly like a Merlin attraction. The way it is, it's they class them as the biggest events, like Scarefest, Alton Towers. Is it Freak Nights, Thorpe Park? What do they call it?
Fright Nights.
Fright Nights. That's it. And to be honest, I've not done Fright Nights. I've done Scarefest, but they're the same houses for the last 4 years. And I'm like, unless you're going to get something new, I'm not even going to bother, because we'll get into it with stuff that's been released in later on in the show. But unless it gets updated, I ain't going to go back to Scarefest or them others. So you went to Tully's. What did you think of that from our recommendation? Did we hit the nail on the head with it?
Absolutely, yeah. I listened to you boys trip report about it, and it was bang on.
Yeah.
Crowds weren't too bad. We bought the same ticket as you boys as well, with the 11 express passes.
So there's only one caveat with the Tullies at the moment. They have officially said no under 16s.
Yeah.
I think that might be an issue for some people. I think you wanted to take your lad as well, didn't you, this time?
We wanted to take my boy, and also we wanted to take the sister-in-law, but she won't be able to go next year. So,
yeah. It's a bit unfortunate. I think it might just be a testing ground to see if it changes the crowd levels a little bit. But we'll see. But I think if it's a responsible child, if they're going on their own, under 16, they should be with an adult.
Yeah, they must have had trouble last year.
Yeah.
Oh, they did. I saw a few things going on. People, if you're new to this, thank you for subscribing. But I'm actually from Crawley, where Tully Shocktoberfest is, and I could see what the kids were doing because I know what to look out for. They were being rude to the bands. You could see how they're acting. They were being rude to the scare actors. I mean, have a bit of banter with the scare actors, but don't take the fucking piss out of them, you little twats.
Yeah,
I think that's a culture thing. I think it's just the UK in general, because like that Fright Night at Full Park, it was the same thing there. There's always like a bit of an undercurrent at UK events, you know.
It happens at HHN as well. It's hormones.
Well, if you get to some of the newer and more, I would say, extreme events, you don't get that as much anymore because it is a bit more intense, and this younger generation are a bit, I'm going to say, you're a bunch of pansies, a lot of you. So I
need to know, what was your favourite house at last year's events, Halloween Horror Nights and Tully's put together? Favourite house?
Doomtown. Doomtown was unbelievable.
See, me and Simon called that, when we used to be Epic Haunts, our epic house of the year last year. The theming, the acting, everything in it. The little nuances like you saw in the Chinese restaurant menu, all the funny jokes in it. Brilliant.
Yeah, it was amazing. And favourite house at Horror Nights would have been Halloween. I'm a big fan of Michael Myers.
Did someone just fart?
No, it's my phone vibrating.
I think Simon's froze on us, so there he's back.
Yeah, sorry about that, but I had to switch my Wi-Fi over.
That's all right. You missed Joe farting, trying to blame his phone.
Yeah, it was coming up. The internet was unstable because for some reason the extension is not working very well. So
it wouldn't be our podcast, Simon, without a technical failure.
Well, to be honest, I did have it all set up for everything to be on the normal router, but the Wi-Fi extender picked itself up. Behind the scenes crap you don't need to know.
So
I did hear he said Doomtown was his favourite house.
And Halloween was his favourite at HHM.
Yeah, because that was that one of the reasons why you wanted to go last year? Because Halloween, because you've not been through one before, have you?
That's it.
Was it everything you expected?
What, Horror Nights or the Halloween house?
The Halloween house.
Yeah, it was. Plenty of Michael Myers. It was just great. Walking into the original film.
Yeah,
you should have done the Did he do the dining? You did, didn't you?
Yeah, scare actor dining. Yeah,
did the Michael Myers who didn't want to do his job and just walked off every 5 minutes.
The less that's said about that dining experience, the better.
Yeah,
dining. There was no food. It was shit.
Well, you turned up late. That's why.
I don't care what time. If you show up and you've got a half hour to go, an hour to go, they should have enough food. They are a big fucking company, and it's no excuse.
Especially with how much they charge for it. As well.
Yeah.
The best thing about it, I'm going to give the woman scare actor who was walking around from the Mexican house.
Oh, which one? The little girl.
The older one.
The
little girl's good with the baseball cap as well.
Yeah.
She was funny.
Yeah. Right. So we've got your houses. We've got your thing. So what kind of, I know this is a horror podcast, but what kind of are your favourite films? Obviously, Michael Myers must be up there. Yeah. Is there any other any off-brand hit horror stuff that people might not recognise that you'd understand?
Yeah. Of the older stuff, Candyman. I love Candyman. When I was a kid, it used to scare the shit out of me. And at the minute, I really like the Terrifier.
Yeah.
Yes, they are awesome. I'll tell you what, everyone wants it at Halloween Horror. Nah, give me Terrifier.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It might be too violent for Halloween Horror Nights, so the stuff that goes on in that.
No, they could get away with it. If they don't call it the Terrifier and just call it Art the Clown, they can get away with it. Because it's the character that I think makes that film.
Yeah,
the films are just, it's hostile.
I don't think we ever said this. What is your favourite horror movie?
What, mine?
Yeah. Saw.
Yeah. The whole Saw franchise. It's twisted. It's nothing to do with it. Don't get me wrong. There's no horror, real scare jumps in it, but it's a twisted mind and making you think. Wait a second. Yeah, if you need to, would you put yourself through that to survive? And it's that twisted side that
I'm trying to survive. It depends who I'm trying to save. If it's just me and I don't care about the others, they're dead.
It's that and this guy here, the original Universal Monsters. They are some of my favourite films.
I'm surprised you didn't say Chucky though.
Chucky is. It's not my favourite character. I would say possibly.
Franchise?
I'm just trying to think of my favourite character. My favourite character probably is Pennywise, but the original with Tim Curry.
Yeah.
The original Pennywise.
My favourite is a BBC classic. Jim will fix it. That is the scariest shit that's ever been around. Please, Americans, if you're listening, go and look up Jimmy Savile and Jim will fix it.
Don't
just be careful when you put it in Google search, though. Just be careful how you word Jimmy Savile.
Jokes aside, my favourite franchise is actually, because of Scream 6, is actually Scream now. I like the original ideas. I was at the right age group when the original come out and everything. I had the fancy dress. I scared the shit out of people in the family, people in the streets dressed up as it. It was fucking... You can't do that in this day and age in England anymore because we're so fucking boring.
I enjoyed the Scream franchise, but I actually enjoyed the Scary Movie versions instead. More.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't go wrong. Tell you what, the Stab franchise is quite good as well if you've ever watched any of them.
Well,
they are real movies.
Yeah, I know, but like saying, I out of the Scream side, when they did the Scary Movie, they just took the piss out of everything.
But I would say my
that made me laugh.
Haunt horror character out of a movie is Freddy Krueger every day.
Now I'm actually just going through the Freddy films again. Up to just done 3, so up to 4. Let's go back through them ones again. So I think we've got a nice broad introduction to Joe there. So. Is there anything else you want to add, Joe, or shall we move on to the next bit?
No, let's crack on, mate. Let's go for it.
Right. So the big news: Halloween Horror Nights officially have the dates.
That would be scary.
Officially, we have the dates, and we have tickets on sale. So I'll take you over to my screen, as we do. So. As you can see, there's not much on there. They've just got the date, the tickets, express passes, RIP tours, your mask and the horror tours. Not much in price difference from last year. But when you do click on...
they went up quite a bit last year.
Yeah. If you do click on the ticket event, when it finally does load, which it decides not to do it, because it's been a pain in the arse.
Just choose a guess number.
Yeah.
There you go.
You get to see all the dates. And there's a date. We are opening up on the 1st of September. Which our prediction was, if you listen back, I predicted the 1st of September. And what I am surprised about is it's every Wednesday as well. Usually that first Wednesday.
There was a I don't think you got the survey, did you, Simon? I did it, I think it was about a month ago. There was a survey asking about different dates and more dates. So I knew there was more coming. Yeah. I just didn't know how to do it. I know a lot of people thought it was going to be every day of the week. That ain't going to happen.
No, they need some downside because they'll have to double the staff.
They've also got to fix the houses as well.
Yeah, so it's going to be every single night from Wednesday to Sunday, and obviously Friday the 1st and 2nd of September, and goes same into October, all the way up to the 31st of October, and expect that 30th of October to be added at a later date. I don't see the point of them shutting it for one night. They'll just go straight through from Wednesday to Tuesday. Well,
and obviously a few of these dead dates as well. If we have a hurricane again, I expect some of them to be dropped into.
So they have a few private events as well, don't they?
But they do the staff one. They do the staff one the week, a few days before.
Yeah, that'll be probably on the Wednesday the 30th. That'll be preview night for staff.
Any staff out there who would like to invite me out, I'm quite happy to come out a week earlier and come to the staff event.
Yeah, so $119.99.
It's the most expensive.
Yeah, it's the most expensive. Which, to be honest, it's not a bad price. It's not much dearer. But here's the big prices: express passes, starting at $109.99. I'm sure last year they were $99.99, so that's another $10 increase. But look at the prices for some of the nights. It's just horrendous.
I mean, I'd be looking at a Wednesday night if I can get it.
Do what you did last year, Phil.
11 p.m.
Yeah, do the 11 p.m. ones, because $189.99 for express on the 30th of September. I'm sorry, that is just ridiculous.
They get worse,
and it goes $220 for express. I'm sorry, but that is
hello Disney.
Yeah. But for that price, obviously, if you do have the Rush of Fear frequent fear with Express, there will be massive value. But I don't see any value in this.
I have an idea on this. I have an idea why they're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people came last year and got Express. What made the Express queues and made the day busy. If Express gets too busy, it's going to scare people off on certain days.
Yeah,
because they want Express and they're not going to come on them days. Yeah. And I think that's what's happening. I think they're trying to price them out of the way.
Yeah. Then we go to the RIP tours are available now. Price at a minimum of $300 per person. As you can see, some have sold out already. Thursday the 7th is sold out already. Maybe a bit crazy. But they come up. $349, $449 for some nights. Yeah, that's not my cup of tea. But if you're into the RIP tours, they are available. You can do the private ones as well. You'll have to ring up and contact them. And we've got behind the screens.
I'll tell you what, before you go any further, I'd love to do that. Maybe not this year, next year, if all of us can get out there around the same time. Because I think Joe wants to go October next year. My mum's talking with my family about going October because Freya actually gets 2 weeks off of school in October. It makes things a little easier. If we could all do, say like the Craigs and that want to come out, maybe we could do a private RIP tour if there's enough of us.
Yeah, well, you only need, I think it's the same price for 10 or 6. I think it goes up a little bit when you get to 16, but I think it's the same price for up to 10. So if you've got the money, and I think I did hear some people paid $3,600 for it, and then some people paid $4,500. So I think it all depends on what day you do it as well. But then also the Unmasking the Horror tour.
I tell you what, it sounds a lot, 3,600, but as you say, between 10 people, that's $360 each.
Yeah, it's not a bad price, and it's private as well. So it's literally your group. You tell the guide what you want to do. If you want to go through, example, Ghostbusters is if it's a new one, you could go through the house 20 times if you wanted to. Yeah, do whatever you want.
I think you get food included and stuff as well, don't you?
You get free buffet food. I think you have to pay for alcoholic drinks, though.
So you have to pay for alcoholic drinks, and when you have finished with the tour guide and you say, right, we're going to do our thing, your lanyard becomes an express pass as well.
Nice.
So it's your choice. I'd rather go if there's all of you. If you're with the guide, you're going to the front of the queue, even for a ride. So it's worth staying with the guide, to be fair, and obviously tip the guides as well because they do a fantastic job because they do a lot of work involved.
Tip them well. So there's 10 of you. Everyone put some big money together because they're out on their feet and they're basically your cheat code.
Yeah. So the Unmasking the Horror tours have returned again. You've got 3 tours. Yeah. Got 3 house tour and the 6 house tour. Start some at 119, 149. That's for the 3 house tours. The 6 house tours are a little bit dearer, I think. Have a quick look. Start at $169.99. So,
do you know what? That's actually quite a good deal. Because was it 116 for 3 houses?
119 was the cheapest.
119. So adding an extra 3 houses on is actually a very good price at that point.
Yeah, I think the Davises there's two. It's starting at $200, $199.99.
Joe, do you know what these are?
Fridays. Yeah. I'd like to do one, to be honest. I think they're well priced.
Yeah. I wish you could actually know what the houses were, what houses you get to see before you buy it.
Yeah.
But it's like saying people are going now and they're not there they're not bothered about what houses they're going into. They just want to see behind the scenes. So a lot of them are starting to sell out quick.
But the biggest problem is, Simon, there's no fear passes this year. How will we survive?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know how we're going to survive.
Because I'm sure that's what loads of people are saying and not realising this happens every year.
Yeah.
You know what, as well, like, this is going to be controversial, but...
welcome to the club.
I think we should get rid of them. Fuck them tickets off and just have single night tickets only.
Fuck you.
Seriously, right? You think of what that would do to the crowds.
It won't do anything. Have you been to It's not so scary. It don't do shit.
Yeah, but that's Disney. Disney, you know what Disney people are like.
Halloween Horror Nights people are just as nuts these days.
Yeah, but like you think of the amount of people, the amount of Americans that just go for the evening, and some of them don't even go in the houses. They just go there to socialise.
Yeah, but tell you the truth, they don't bother me, the ones who don't go in the house, because they're usually just around the bars.
Yeah. But I think
I personally, it's going to upset people. If you want to be controversial, I think it should be 18 and over.
Yeah, should be.
There's drinking going on. There shouldn't be kids in there at the same time as a lot of us adults, and we are getting drunk. Let's be truthful. And you seem to get more drunk quicker because you're having a great time and you don't realise it.
Yes, that is correct. I'm just in the process of sorting something out.
Okay, fair enough.
Terrible. I know.
Don't know about you, Joe, but I don't know if you've heard. I'm in an R about the Haunt event at SeaWorld. Quite frankly, I just couldn't give a damn. I love the bloke there, the scare actor there, but
best scare actor ever.
I can't be bothered walking through half a park what's just pitch black with fog with nothing going on.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we spoke about this before. We actually quite enjoyed it. It was the houses were.
Oh, I love the houses.
Yeah, I mean, they're not Horror Nights level, but there was no queue. We went on a Saturday night.
You were lucky.
We walked straight into every fucking. We didn't queue at all. Sorry, that's a lie. The only one we queued for was the vampire one, but it was only because they were pulsing people in. There was only about 40 people in the queue.
Yeah, that was the only drawback to that bit. When it was busy, they were still pulsing, but they were taking far too long with the pulsing.
Yeah,
and it
they
just
put
ruined your night.
If you use a group or two, they put you through. Like, just put them through. If there's a freebie on, and put them through as a 5. They're all going to get the scares.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well,
did you do the show?
What one?
What's it called, Simon? I was drinking away.
Monster shit. I mean, Monster Stomp.
No, we didn't do Monster Stomp.
Oh, mate,
no, he did the other one.
If you somehow get the money and come out this year, go and do it, mate. On Epic Haunts, there was a guy called Phil, right? He fucking hated it. But on this show, HHG, I love it. I think it's the greatest show ever made. And I totally agree with our American friends. It was fantastic. I was really proud of them school kids on the stage doing everything out.
Phil is no longer a member of this podcast. We are still giving you a notice. Phil is now being replaced. Bye-bye.
Let me finish. You've had your turn. Sounds like one of them TV shows. Talk TV, whatever it is. Right. I think the children on that stage were fantastic. And the teacher at school, who's never done any drama or anything, she was fantastic putting that together. It was grade A school kids, amazing stuff that I would see in school in England. It was amazing. It was just a shame it was fucking adults doing it and it was fucking shit.
Anyway,
come at me every other podcast. I'm sorry you all love it. I hate it. Fucking shit. And tell you what I hated as well. Bill and Ted, that was fucking shit as well. That was my little kids' humour. Come down south to England. We'll show you real humour.
Did you?
Well, that's us now being deleted and cancelled.
We now only have 7 listeners now because of me.
Yeah, we're officially going to get cancelled.
Cancel culture.
Anyway, let's move on. While the tickets were announced, we got our first merch drop. Merch drop.
Merc,
yeah. Merc.
Merc.
So, as you can see...
Where'd you get that from?
The internet.
Me sending it to you.
There's a magnet for $9. Looks quite good, actually. I do like the writing.
I'd love to know its actual proper size of that. Do you reckon it's like the size of
it is. I'll show you the size of it because I've got one from
Simon. No, people. I'm glad you're not watching. If you're watching on YouTube, I apologize. Simon, put it away.
I've got one from Disneyland Paris. That's the size of them. They're exactly the same size. So as you can see, it's about
that's not too bad.
Yeah. And then we've also got some candle.
What's it meant to smell like?
I don't know. This is the only problem with scented candles. Unless they're actually there, you can't tell what they'll smell like, can you? So I don't get the candle side, but it is what it is. T-shirts available as well. Priced at $33. A little bit of a price increase.
It does glow in the dark.
Yeah, I'm sure they were $29 last year, were they? Or 30?
Or inflation.
So a bit of a price increase.
29.
Yeah. Along with that, we've also got the everyone's favourite mug.
Phil.
Or cup.
Me?
Mug. And then
I'm going for $16, am I? Bloody hell. It's too much.
I've particularly left this one for last. The cap. Because
when you get it in the shop, when you get in the shop and it's flat peaked, it looks shit. When someone's put the curb on it, it looks miles better.
I said this to you, Phil. I'm going to say this to Joe and everyone on here. That cap is like something we got from the 90s. The old plastic caps were ribbed at the back, and it was that foam crap at the front.
Trucker cap.
Yeah, that's what they remind me of. And for $30, sorry, kiss my ass. That's too expensive.
I got it for $30. Go fuck yourself, mate.
I know. That's why I'm saying it.
I like baseball caps, so guys, look at me. Seriously, I'm a baseball cap nut job. Oh, too.
So that's actually all the merchandise for Halloween Horror Nights at the release. Well, if you want to get the merchandise, you can get it over at Five and Dime in Universal Studios and the Horror Boutique in Islands of Adventure. Everything's available there.
And you probably can get it in City Walk as well, let's be truthful.
Yeah. But it's merch drop for an announcement for the tickets. So we've downloaded the tickets. I don't think we're going to get another announcement now for about 2-3 weeks. So maybe April.
I think we may get a spec map before that.
I don't think we're going to get one for a while, to be fair. I don't think we'll get anything. Because it's getting to that time now where things are starting to be settled in. So I think there might be a...
Do you want to quickly get into the rumour of it? It sounds like it is not it. It's full of shit.
Yeah, they're still thinking of a clown. We did allude to it earlier on.
So we're doing a house about Simon.
Yeah, I am the clown. So it's possibly this will probably get Joe booking a ticket as soon as he possibly can. The rumours that we are hearing is a clown house, but it's not Pennywise. So the only other clown I can think of, it's not going to be Jack because we can't
be killing clowns again because that'd be fucking pointless.
No. The where it's moving to is Art the Clown from Terrifier, which fits with Halloween Horror Nights quite well. But like I was saying, everything's still slightly up in the air yet. There's nothing that we know. There is some people out there who do know stuff. But there's a lot of rumours. There's a lot of codes gone out there, and some of them that have been broken. Like I said though before, we did it on the last show. We'll rumour a little bit, but we won't go too much into rumours unless you two want to go into some rumours.
Oh, there is one more rumour, isn't it, with the anchor? Apparently, that's meant to be the old scare zone from, was it 27 with the aliens?
Oh,
the aliens
invasion.
Yeah. Apparently that's meant to be the anchor house. What's shown on HNN spec map. No, right. I didn't see that. I was quite upset. I didn't see the scare zones. I thought it looked pretty cool to me. So if they do a house with it, that could be quite interesting.
Yeah, the problem is with that. By the way,
it's also got that 90s movie vibe, B-movie vibe.
Yeah, but that one was based in the 50s. It was very cheesy.
Yeah, but the film could be based in it. But it reminds me of a 90s B-movie, that sort of thing. That's what they would have set it on.
It does. To be honest, it does. I am thinking of a 90s vibe coming from Halloween Horror Nights this year. Just with what they've released up to now. So we'll see.
Last time I was Chucky.
Well, you got straight away, we've got Chucky, but it's based on the series, but the films were the 90s. And now this merchandise, See You in the Fog, the writing's quite goosebumpy. That makes sense?
Goosebumpy, I love that.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? It's like a drippy, because some of the logos that they've released have got like blood dripping. As if it's like Goosebumps, and that was very 90s, wasn't it? So I don't know. I think we might be going for a 90s vibe, which is nearly 30. Don't forget, it's over 30 years ago, nearly 1990. It's 33 years ago. So
do you boys say that, mate? It's 10 years ago. It's got to be. I'm not that old.
Do you boys think we're going to get The Last of Us?
I think it's going to be the computer game and not the TV series.
Should be. It should be. They need to attack the video game franchises again, because obviously Resident Evil didn't get its justice that it deserved because they tried to go towards the film a little bit more than the actual game, and the game's terrifying. Because a prime example, I thought the best house I've actually been through, one of my top 10 houses is Silent Hill, because that house was based on the game and not the film. Yeah, I loved it. I played Silent Hill as a kid all the time. I've actually got it as an emulator on my Mac as well. I still play it now. It's great. It's a fantastic game. But the original Resident Evil, I started playing that on the PS4 again. It's been remastered. If you played it and you go through that corridor and then dogs jump through the window, if you don't jump, you're not normal.
Yeah.
Just got a blank face. She's like, what?
Have you seen the latest movie, the latest Resident Evil film, where it's basically a remake of the original Resident
Raccoon
Evil?
City, the Raccoon City thing, yeah.
What did you think?
That is the definition of a B movie.
I fucking loved it. I loved it, mate. Just because I knew what was going to happen. Just because
because it is very similar to the game, and that's why I like it more.
I think it would have been better as a series, though.
Well, no, because what it is, the games are more on the monsters, and you being a character, and there's different characters in the game. Where in the Resident Evil film, it's all based on Alice, and
Alice?
Don't get me wrong,
who the fuck is Alice?
That's a reference Americans definitely won't get. If you want to know what we're on about, search Roy Chubby Brown. You'll know exactly what we're on about.
Oh no, don't Americans, because that is cancel culture at its best. Roy Chubby Brown, you will not handle Roy Chubby Brown, and you will understand why British humour is very dark.
Yeah,
mate, their heads will explode if they see Roy Chubby Brown.
Yeah. Well, I've not mentioned this on here because me and my dad actually went to go watch Roy Chubby Brown when I was young. And my dad was telling me he went years before, and he came out on stage, stood in front, and walked back off. And he walked off, and everyone was like, "What's going on?" Until everyone's just got up, and three people stood up and went, "You fat bastard!" And then he come back out again, until the crowd started calling him, he wouldn't go out. But that's his character. Supposedly he's a really nice guy in real life. He hates people swearing.
I just want to quickly say here, because things I've seen, we are not condoning fat shaming. I think Roy Chubby Brown was a fat guy himself, and he actually played on it. Just want to let you know that he called himself a fat bastard. That was part of his stick. So he would get the crowd to call him a fat bastard, you fat bastard, like an English football chant. So just to let you understand, we're not fat shaming on this show, because we've seen it online, and we're not getting involved with that shit.
No, we're not. No, if you want to do that stuff, go somewhere else. But yeah, Chubby Brown. Oh, if you get a chance, go watch. You won't find it on YouTube. I can guarantee you that you will not find Chubby Brown on YouTube. You'll have to search in other places for it.
Fair enough. There is no more news, is there, guys?
There's a couple of little bits in the UK.
As I said, you wouldn't bloody notice if I started again, would you? So I wasn't lying. So we are back. So Simon, would you like to get into your UK haunt news, I believe?
Yes, there is. There is a few. I'm just going to quickly share the screen. We have two events have dropped their announcement that they're coming back for this year. So we have.
There we go.
That's creepy. That's a creepy girl. But it's the Scare City Experience.
Looks fit to me.
And this is obviously going to be outdated when you see it, but tickets are now on sale for 2023. I went to this event last year. So if you want to see what this event is kind of like, head over to our YouTube channel. And as you'll probably see, I filmed the whole stuff and it's on our channel. So
where is it?
It's Scare City at Camelot Theme Park in Leyland near Chorley. It's a walkthrough event, and you just walk through. It's an abandoned theme park. There's scare actors everywhere. It's a trail, so you don't go off the beaten track. There's music everywhere. Just watch the video. It's 29 minutes long. It's the best bits of the whole trail. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour to walk through it. There's a break in the middle where there's a bar, places to eat, and stuff like that. And you actually get to walk round the old theme park. And if you ever went to Camelot when you was a kid, I did quite a lot because it's my local theme park.
The first year,
sorry,
when it was COVID. First year when it was COVID, there was a drive event, wasn't it?
Yes, you drove through. The first year was they did a driving movie where the old castle used to be. That was the car park, and they had a driving movie where you turned the radio in, as it is. We don't really have that many driving movies in the UK, but in America, I believe you do. And then the year after, it was actually you drove the same route in your car, and they opened your doors and got in your car and all sorts of stuff, and then you watched the movie afterwards as well. And then last year, they went it where you walked through the whole trail, and in this one you go through into an old. It was like an old play area, kids' play area, and it's still there, the castle, and it's more or less, it looks condemned, but they've obviously made it safe. And you're walking around, and they're just getting you left, right, and centre. But if you want to find out anything about it, just watch the video. I'll send a link to Phil and Phil will put it in the show notes.
Probably.
And along with Scur City, one I mentioned earlier on, Farmageddon. Tickets are on sale for them again this year.
Jeremy Clarkson.
Yeah. This one is in Ormskirk near Liverpool. I do like the way this is. I just scrolling down, that's coming up. It's quite a good effect.
Yeah, people, if you're listening to the podcast, what I've got to reiterate is you need to watch our show on YouTube. You're missing out on visuals, what make it so much more better and would explain a lot more to you if you've not seen any of this stuff.
Yeah. So with Farmageddon, they've announced an early bird ticket, like Tully's have done, but they've also announced all the houses as well that they're doing. So they're doing Contagion. If you look at our intro for when we had Epic Haunts, a lot of them 3D pictures that look quite funky, they're from that house. So, because it was a 3D house, but now they made it more clowns. That's back for another year. Meat Locker, I think that's been there for the last 6 years now. Yeah, the best house. The Beast of Terror, that's another returning house again. This, if you understand why I'm just going through this, because I've already done this event 3 years ago, and it's exactly the same.
I'll tell you what, something, quickly go back. Beast of Terror and the one before that. Just give us a mark out of 10 out of all of them, what you can remember. Don't go in detail. Just give us a mark at 10.
My favourite one was Contagion, but it was a 3D, one of them 3D houses with the glasses. So you got that Chromadet 3D. I did enjoy the Meat Locker. That was the first time I went through it about 8 years ago. Was 8 out of that one. This one on the screen now. That was a 10 out of 10. But when I went last year, it was probably a 5 out of 10 because it was literally half the house. A lot of it was cut out. The only thing that made it a little bit better than what I would have given it a 3 because it was half the house, but I'll give it a 5 because the actual exit was a porta potty toilet. That was the exit. You exit out of a shitter. It was quite funny. You didn't realise because as you're walking past, you just see people running out of the shitter and you're like, what the hell is going on? And that was the exit to the house. So that was a quite nice little touch. The Beast of Terror, it was just very demon-esque. I think probably 6 out of 10 for that one. Zombie Warzone, I didn't do this because this is a hay bale paint zone where you go around on a hay tractor ride shooting zombies.
Oh, I like them.
With paintballs. It's an upcharge event as well for that one, so I think you might have to pay a little bit more. Can't be 100%, but when we
know
more, we'll do. And the final one is Maze of Death. It is literally just one of the mazes that they have at the farm during the day. And they just turn the lights out and turn smoke up left, right, and centre. You just got to try and get your way through it. It wasn't
scare actors, yeah.
It wasn't brilliant, but it's the same as what they've had for the last 4 or 5 years. So if you want to go to Farmageddon and you've never been before, I would recommend it. I don't think I'll be going this year because nothing entices me to go. Because it's literally the same as what it was a few years ago. I think actually they have the price of the tickets on there. I'll just pop back onto it.
Well, we're going back on.
Yeah, because we've got these other things here where, Join the Resistance, Zombie Arms, Fear Go Around is just a theme park, like fairground rides that they have there. Yeah, we had a Scurvy Oak. It's all the same stuff we've had every year.
It's fun, though.
Sign up for newsletters.
I'm going to go same menu.
Yeah, and the tickets are on sale. I'll just quickly show you the tickets.
At bookings.farmageddon.com.
Yeah, so you've got the houses are £20 from £20 per person. Fast pass upgrade.
So you have to pay per house?
No, it's for all the houses. You get to go in one of the houses once.
I can see. No, I'm not looking properly here. So you've got the fast pass deal and that as well.
Yeah, and then you've got the one with his Warzone, with his paintball, and then you've got obviously the paintball and the fast track as well. It's not that expensive. It can be done in about 2 hours, so it's just an evening out. This one does get busy.
Very cheap.
Yeah, that's why it gets busy. It's just unless they do maybe 2 or 3 changes for the houses, I just probably won't go back because it's just once you've done them, you've done them. That's why I like Halloween Horror Nights the way it is because you never get to repeat the same house. So it'll be interesting to see how Tully's...
What are you fucking on about? Halloween's been there 7,000 times.
Yeah, but it's not there every single year. So it'll be interesting to see how Tully's do this year after going last year. See what changes they are for this year.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to change Doomtown?
No, I think they keep the same. But I said to Simon, I know they did zombies last time. Simon had the idea of vampires and that, and I said, why not do alien invasion? He said, just a little change.
They might change that up. To be honest, it was that good. They'll probably just do it exactly the same again.
It was so good. I wouldn't mind doing it again because I enjoyed it so much.
Was it 80s or 90s? I can't remember what it was.
It's 90s. Yeah, blockbuster.
90s. See, what they might do is change it to 80s, perhaps.
Maybe.
What would you you probably they might get rid of blockbusters though, because a lot of people were ripping the cases off, weren't they?
Yeah, we know.
If you listen to this podcast, just don't listen to us again, assholes.
Yeah.
No need for it. The thing is,
ignore Simon. You can listen again. Just be fucking better.
Yeah, don't be a dick.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
that's it.
They don't
you say
that.
for the podcast, don't be a dick.
There's a lot goes into it, and little things like that, you don't need to do it.
Yeah. But that's what I was saying to you earlier. It always seems there's this undercurrent at UK events, shit like that I don't think you see as much in the States.
No.
And I think that's why they took the kids out. Things like that.
Maybe, yeah. But I did notice though that when some of them actual videotapes were open, there were videotapes in them.
That's kind of annoying. I should have took some of them.
Yeah. Have you still got a VCR player?
No, but I could have found someone who has. My nan's still alive. She's 94
one,
years old. She's 94 years old, mate.
There.
She's probably still got a Betamax one, whatever they were called back in the day.
Yeah, so that's really the UK
just want to
events at the moment.
I'm not saying my nan's old, but she has a wind up fucking vibrator.
Oh my!
Welcome.
Did you wind it up for her? Did you wind it up for her?
Only on Sundays. All right, Simon.
I'm leaving. Bye.
This is the new improved Ruder Cruder show. I told you we were rebranding. I just didn't think we were going to get worse.
There's rebranding and throwing it in a toilet.
Oh, dear. Welcome to the first podcast of OnlyFans.
Cheers.
Oh, poor Simon. He's having hot flushes.
I just want to go home.
Right, so there is no more news, though, jokes aside.
No, not. There's a lot of the UK events are starting to release tickets now, so the more information we get from local ones, we'll give you more information.
I'm sorry, you got to watch this on YouTube because there's me and Joe giggling like little school kids, and Simon's just straight face.
I'm just trying to be professional, but
professional us.
Well, it was until he joined.
No, it got bad with me on my own, mate. I've just got a partner now.
Well, next episode will be two Southerners doing whatever they normally do.
Terribly for Simon. Right, I think that is all of it, though. Joe, how was your first episode?
Awesome.
Are you happy to come back and stay with us?
Yeah, of course, boys. Yeah, yeah. I've had a blast.
Simon, are you gonna stay?
No, I quit. Get someone else to do it. No, of course I'll be back.
And obviously, as you know, in the future, though, as I can go serious now, we are changing up a bit more. We're going to have a shitload more guests on that. We're going to have people who may not get on with other people in the community. We are in the middle. We don't give a damn what you're arguing about. It's nothing to do with us. So we'll have everyone on and we will value your views. We may not agree with them, but the idea is it's banter. You can have a go back at us. We have a go at you. And it makes it a bit more fun. It doesn't have to be kumbaya on everything. As you've clearly heard from Joe tonight, he's been totally out of order to a lot of stuff. But I've been quite good.
Yeah. We'll get to sausage background now, though.
Yeah. I've ordered some bits. I've got some bits on the way.
Bits and bats.
Vibrator?
Yeah, wind up one.
And I think on that bombshell, I feel like Top Gear now. Top Gun was it Top Gear? It was Top Gear. And on that bombshell, good night. Right, no, but from me, I'm going to keep it.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do now? What are you going to do?
Well, officially on YouTube, people, I'll just let you know, Simon, this hasn't disappeared. Cheap plugs. I am Epic Phil Vlogs on YouTube, where I vlog Tenerife and Orlando. I do shorts on my dogs. If you like dogs, go and check that shit out. But Epic Phil Vlogs. So I can keep this. Joe, you got a few seconds to think of a punchline, because I've got this from me, Phil, be epic. From Simon.
Always stay spooky.
And from Joe.
Bollocks.
Love it. See you on the next episode, everyone.
The moving walkway exit is approaching. Please watch your step.